Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. I did put 12 cards out. We'll see if we get to that. And I'm going to read through a read I did. It's still today's date, but it was after midnight last night. It's a short one, so I'm going to read through that for you so that you have the information. And then I'm going to get into the read in front of you. And before that, there's some stuff I wanted to cover from this morning. Let's see here. So it is August 20th today. 2019, 20 is the judgment day, and then the day adds up to 40, which is a 4, and that's the Page of Cups. So we have judgment and the Page of Cups, and that definitely came up in the read. There definitely could be a child who had to go to court for some reason or just got judged for something, and that could be a child or an adult child, or there's a lot of different other things that came up in the read today. But before any of the reads happened today, and again, the 20 is a 2 as well, so that's the feminine energy, the High Priestess, specifically for the 2. We have 20 and 40, both which are backed up by source energy, which prefaces what I want to say perfectly, because it's backed up by the 0, which is source energy contained by the human body, which is how I always describe it to you guys. And these are just part of my downloads and the development of those, like the safety pin that I presented to you. And you can go back and look. I think it's around in April that I posted that one with the safety pin, and you'll see the picture of it. But there's a whole bunch of technical stuff about pi and stuff that came up with that. But just the symbolism of my codes, with the 0 being source energy, and then the 0 around it is the containment of the human body, or anything that would contain source energy. So this morning when I woke up, and my friend told me, she got 816 for me for some reason, and it didn't resonate with me, and then I woke up this morning at 816. But 816 is the strength card. It's the 8 of the infinity, but it's also 16 of the tower, right? So sudden events and awakenings and rebirths, all that kind of energy. And the resurrection was coming up this morning. Let's see here. So when I woke this morning, 8:16, I really didn't want to wake up yet because I didn't go to sleep till like 3 o'clock last night. So I was trying to get more sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep, so I just was meditating for a minute, trying to go to sleep again. And I wasn't getting much visuals, but I was getting calla lilies. So, and that's come up for me a few other times. So I was trying to figure out, what do I need to know about the calla lilies, and I was going to look it up to see what I was getting. But then I was guided to watch one of Jessica Del Mar's videos. So if you haven't watched her before, check it out. She's got some really great information coming up. So at 8:28, I looked at the clock again, and that's what I got. I felt connection come in from my twin. And I was watching Jessica's The Source Within Part 1, connecting to your place of the universe. And so some of the stuff that she was getting was resonating with the stuff that I get, just in a slightly different way. But it made a lot of sense to me. So it was paralleling the calla lilies, relating to 0 point and creation and all that kind of stuff. And for me, it just comes through. I wanted to give you guys some visuals of what she was talking about. So I'm going to reference some of the things she brought up, but go back and watch her video if you want all the details. I got up at 9:19, and then another flower was coming up for me. I don't know what it's called. It looks like a raspberry though. And they had that great, magenta color. And it was just, my juice was extra yummy because of the raspberry flavor this morning. So raspberries are definitely coming up. And then I was getting my finger of Yod as the center of a calla lily. Okay, so I have my, my little pointer that I have here. But I wanted to take a picture of something so it would look like a calla lily for you, because that was the visual reference I was getting. So this would be the stalk, and there's a lot of flowers that have those stalks that grow up in the middle of them. But this is specific to the calla lilies. So with Jessica's video this morning, she was talking about 0 point, and that, the nothingness and the everythingness and the full expansion, and that 0 point is basically the nothingness, but not the very beginning, but the nothingness after the everythingness. Right? So it's full expansion. So it's just like the odd numbers and the even numbers. So I talk more in terms of numerology, but it's the same principle, that you have the even, right, or the plateau or the nothingness, and then you have the odd numbers, which are the triggers, which expand you into everythingness, right? So when you expand as much as you can, or you've created something as much as you can, then you implode back into nothingness, and that's the vortex. That's the 0 point, the nothingness after the everythingness, where it's just like the visual I wanted to give you was, and I brought up yesterday, the house being taken down. When you implode a house so it doesn't explode all over the neighborhood, that's the same reference, imploding within. It creates this energy buildup. So I was seeing the demolished implosion of the home, where the 0 point is the new manifestation point from all that was before. And then I had gotten a message from my grandmother before about piecing together all the pieces of the quilt of your life, which is the same reference. Everything that happened to you up until this point is the everythingness that then implodes into nothingness, into that vortex. The energy stored from the implosion, or the third energy storage, the quanta, as opposed to the explosion, which goes out, the loss of heat and energy, just like we're guided to conserve our sexual energy. It's the same principle, right? So if you release yourself and have an orgasm, you let go of that energy and it splatters all over the place. There's no control, and it's kind of just wasted energy. Whereas when you implode or pull your energy up, you're conserving that, just like the vortex or the 0 point or the implosion of the home energy. The vacuum, and you can look at my safety pin reference too, because that references the vacuum. The vacuum created to propel and then expand again, all right, to load up the energy, use it, and then release for the feminine to toggle up and, or, get energy from the sun again, to load up again. It's also about the retrograde, the rewind, to create the momentum that goes forward again, which is just expansion in the now moment. Thus the calla lily. So why did it come up? They come in colors of green, pink, purple, yellow, orange, and white. I'm sure there's some others as well. The first source was theflowerexpert.com that I was getting the calla lily information from. They're called the arum lily, the trumpet lily, which is very pertaining today since we have the judgment card, which always has the trumpet in there. And we definitely had some funeral services coming up yesterday and today, which has to do with reveille and the trumpeter, right? And a pouring out of emotions, right? So when you see the spit that comes out of the trumpet, it's the pouring out of emotions. They're also called water dragon, pig lily, or miniature calla lily, and they originate from South Africa, which has also come up recently with SA as the acronym, and also was first cataloged in the 1700s. So here we have your 17 for you again. The meaning for the calla lily is magnificence and beauty. Greek for beautiful. So they bloom in the late spring, and it's important for you guys to know that the roots of the calla lily are poisonous. And I was getting with the whatchamacallit, the problem, the disease where you want to hurt yourself or other people. So I was getting a reference to that as soon as I was reading that the roots were poisonous, like the Munchausen's. So if someone has Munchausen's, they may harvest things like this that have natural poison in them so that nobody, pays attention. I don't know if that's specific to anyone, but it was definitely coming up to be said, so it obviously doesn't relate to most people, okay? So the poisonous roots have to do with your lineage also, the root chakra issues, the safety and stability. The plant is supposed to be 4 inches down, so the 4 comes up of the 4 cycles. You go to school 4 years at a time, the 4 seasons, all of the 4s of the stability, and then 12 inches apart, the end of the cycle, right? So there's enough room to grow. And then you need to fertilize every month with the moon cycles, and you need rest after the flowering. So once the flowering's done, the flower, just as well as humans, they need to have time out to rest, right? To reflect, to ground and integrate. Let the leaves die back, like cutting your hair, and rest 2 to 3 months, and then start watering very well again for new growth. And the poison that was coming up in the calla lily is oxalic acid. The calla lily symbolizes the brilliance of truth and holiness. And that was, for me, took us right back to justice and integrity. And so this came from GardenerDY.com. And also the water dragon came from that site as well. So this stuff going forward is from this website. The resemblance So the resemblance to the female genitalia gives it a meaning of being overtly sexual one. Also originated from the breast milk of the Greek goddess Hera. Zeus, the Roman god, fathered Hercules with a mortal. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. It looks like alchemy to me, but it's alchemy or alchemy, right? It's like alchemy. It reminds me of that. But that's the mortal. But he wanted his child, Hercules, to have more divinity, so put him at the breast of Hera, who was also a goddess, who woke and flung the baby away from her when she had seen that Zeus had attached the baby to her. The milk then flung out, right, when the baby was knocked away, and became the Milky Way, and a few drops fell to the earth, the first calla lilies, or lilies on earth. Then Venus rose, so you see the flower reference here. Venus rose from sea foam and became jealous of the snow white beauty of the competitor, right? So the calla lily competitor. And then, so cursed the calla lily, right? The snow white beauty of the calla lily, cursed it, and thus the heavy pistil sprang in the middle of the lily, the symbol of lustful ardor. And that was at 9:14. So calla lily also has, its references are the resurrection, the trumpets, victory, the Christ's passion on the cross, the paintings of the Virgin Mary and the angel of the Annunciation, and then purity, holiness, faith, rebirth of the spring, youth and innocence, elegance and sophistication, and I was getting Sophia's toggling up. The A is the human embodiment of source with connection, right? So her connection to the Cation, the magnetization of the divine feminine collective. So Sophia's Cation, her TA Cation, so that could be a teacher's assistant. Symbol of marriage and the 6th anniversary, purity of thought and eloquence of heavenly bliss, faith and devotion, regeneration of spring, and the colors, a couple definitions came up for white, of course, is pure and innocent, pink is appreciation and admiration, purple, charm and passion, and then yellow of gratitude. Whereas pink is more appreciation, it's really about admiration, and yellow is more of just thankfulness, gratitude. And also Katharine Hepburn came up because calla lilies were in the stage door. All right, so enough with that. And then I had a friend of my father's call me today to talk. He's a great person. And that was nice to hear from him. But definitely divine masculine. Between that and my son, because I get a lot of divine masculine downloads from my son as well, I'm always getting information when I talk to these people about the wounding of the masculine. And then at 11:07 this morning, I was getting up and away in my beautiful balloon several times. It was kind of like running in the background of my head as I was trying to do the read in the beginning. And again, then the 8:16 came up as the resurrection, the rebirth. And the my balloon was coming up as MY, is the Mary Magdalene, and the Y in the road, and it was telling us to go left, the feminine side. The ball, and B is like 13, 1-3, the death, the transformation, rebirth of the A, the human embodiment connected to others, and then the 2 L's, and I was getting the 2 L's as the L wrench, but that's where it was guiding us left to the feminine. But it was showing both the masculine and feminine in their left, and then 2 googly eyes with Jesus, which connection to Jesus, right? Going up in the balloon together. So that was pretty cool. So Hieros Gamos was coming up again in reference to that. So dealing with resurrection, rebirth, death, with the Google eyes in the feminine, which is toggling up, with Jesus, or in other words, Hieros Gamos. And then the read today, 77s were coming up, but I'll get into that in a minute. I want to get through this other first read first. It's a pretty quick one, so we're going to get through the first read. This was done today at 12:52 a.m., so very early morning hours today, actually last night. I turned the page, it was 12:21, and then the read was finished by 12:52. 12 is the Hangman, 52 is the Queen of Swords, and she was a very important player today, so it's interesting that this first read was done at 52. The Shadow came up, which is the Devil, Justice, Abundance, which is the Empress. Strength card transitions the Death card. And then Chariot and Reason also came up. Reason's the Emperor card in the Sirian Starseed deck. So those came up in the before the read cards. So the numbers from this morning, the early one, where there were double threes, double sixes, and double nines in the read. So 369, the 3D, 40, 5D reference, as well as 8, 9, 10, and begin again. So the end of the cycle. 8, 141 came up, 33, 28, 66, 99, 13, 56, 8, 9, 10, 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, 68, the Page of Pentacles, 15, the Devil, and 58, which is the Four of Swords, which is also for me the 5D connection. So the message here for the first read today was love, healing, and nature. Okay, so using nature to heal and also be aware of the poisonous qualities. But the show of power that is rare, divine justice, which is truth and balance. The 8, the dance of balance of your masculine and feminine within, is your strength, your natural strength. The show of power also of the abdomen was coming up, right? So your solar plexus area, the eye, the lowercase I of the chakra system and the third eye, and the vine, right? Ever connecting. The vine goes on forever. Also, there's something else that wants to come out, but reaching out, that connection, it can reference to, you know, an olive branch, that kind of thing with the vine. But the vine, you know, it keeps going and going and going. It never stops. It makes constant connection. Then we have with co-creation, and the Northeast came up again, and that can reference to Jesus and Eve, or the divine feminines as well. And then justice was breaking down to just ice, right? So what happens when someone gets their heart broken? They become cold as ice. So the justice here was coming up as just ice of the feminine, that Queen of Swords, the Euro-India gateway at the height of love. And the 8 came up as being single and dancing alone, right? Doing your masculine and feminine dance alone to balance yourself. The show of the power of the abdomen, the chakra vine, the vine of the chakra that's never ending in the etheric realms. The co-creation of the divine feminine toggling upward, and again, this is for the masculines. Just ice, the bridge, and the cord. So justice may come up for the masculine as the feminine breaking the cord, like icing the cord if he doesn't come forward. Disconnecting you from them, so them feeling the disconnect. So again, I want to remind you, today's days, at the numbers add up to the Judgment and the Page of Cups, which is going to be very significant as we go into the reads. So this first read, the 9 of Cups starts, and you don't have those cards in front of you, so I'm just going to read through it quickly. The 9 of Cups, Chariot, Reason, and the Shadow. Be happy alone, masculines, in a bold move to reason through the shadow work, right? Because masculines are more logical, so it's not as, this shadow work isn't as, or the intuitive work isn't as natural for the masculines as it is for the feminine, but they can reason through things. So shadow work is something good for them. It's something they can relate to and understand. So the devil, or the detox, and the web, the grids of verbal abuse, silent treatment, holding back announcement of truth, of the 5D, healing, forgiving, and apologizing for running away. The Knight of Wands reversed, juggling, whistleblower, pretender, putting on a show, inspired by the Queen of Cups reversed, slow motion display, or in a downturn, or a downplaying of what she's been through. Natural fabrics and fibers, cottons and leopard, jag, or cheetah prints, reptilian or Arcturian were coming through, as well as Pleiadian boots. With rubies, a long line, a long tail, and tail spelled both ways. The tail of at the butt of an animal, and then the tail that the story you tell. Of walking on the moon. James Dean came up, Vulcan and Vulcan boots. So Spock came up with moon boots. And then Twilight Zone, Bewitched, and Hogan's Heroes all came up there, which was very interesting. As well as the actress Arlene Martell, who's connected to all those things, including James Dean. And his death was connected to Highway 46, right, where he died. So the Vulcan, or also .22 came up with the Vulcan heading there, referencing a wildcat. So here again, the cats were coming up, and I just written down, jaguars, cheetahs, and leopards, the wildcats. And that came up from airgunnation.com. So detoxing slowly, the Queen of Wands reversed, partying with lover, secret passion, stuck in emotions, going back to hard labor and burdens, unclogging, or clogging, literally, like the dance, clogging, unfair labor practices, resistance, strike, or temporary close due to leaks, whether they're water leaks or other kind of leaks. 10 and 2 came up, so that could reference October 2nd for someone. And then, actually, that's a birthday that I know. It's someone I haven't seen in a long time, an old boss of mine, a man in power. So October 2 is coming up. The Empress out being seen, getting over sadness, loss, and regret, or just got out of rehab, with an opportunity to hurt themselves again, to burn themselves again willingly, hurting each other, drinking alcohol, or controlling someone. And then I was getting the movie When a Man Loves a Woman, because in that movie, supposedly they had the ultimate relationship, but it was all based on her being drunk, right? So she was always drunk because that was the only way she could always be what he wanted her to be. So she was never really being her authentic self, and that's where the movie ended, because she couldn't be with him anymore. So that was coming up there. Always trying to please them, not being their true self. So then the masculine in the relationship never understanding what went wrong, because she was never being honest with him. And he was never really being honest with her either, because he was loving her drunk self. He wasn't loving her real self. Him buying chocolates and dessert, and down on his hands and knees begging forgiveness, or looking under the bed for food on the floor. And the 5D world, remote aerial view, that someone could be watching the divine masculine when he's with the divine feminine in the 5D, right? So when the divine feminine is sleeping and the masculine who can remote view into the divine feminine, when he's there, there's somebody else remote viewing him. Or just the divine masculine sees an opportunity to be with the divine feminine and thinking to themselves, well, should I get her drunk? Should I buy her candies? Or should I just stick to the 5D and not do that at all? Or while the divine masculine is in the 5D, a karmic or child is burning or cutting themselves. Or the karmic knowing when she has sex with the divine masculine that the divine feminine is forced to experience it too. The karmic getting pleasure from giving pain to the divine feminine. And then individuality came up as number 11, and then 56 with relationship change. 56 is the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing. So justice, truth and balance of being in your knowing. Powerlessness and weak, a messenger of truth, or that Knight of Swords, expressing feelings of impatience or dissatisfaction and suffering, purging, stressed and up at nights crying. And that was at 156. The Magician and that 2 of Swords again, being in your knowing, right? When you know, you can't hide it from others, right? Because it'll eat away at you inside if you have any kind of consciousness, right? So we turn the page, it's 57 now, the 3 of Swords, right? The broken hearts, the 3-way relationships where everyone loses because everyone gets their heart broken, and sirens went off as I started writing at 157. I wasn't sure then if it was a siren or a cat or a dog that was wounded or just an animal trying to get back in the house. But ego death was then coming up, needing courage in the loss of power, money, and independence to express passions, the knight in shining armor. Leo reversed and Sag reversed, powerless women around him everywhere. Lobster claws or lobster clasps, Little Mermaids, and drinking at the bar or chalet too much, and then I was getting the show Cheers. Suffering in silence, keeping closed-mouthed, tight-lipped. Detox, suffering, and slow down of fate, burdened by hard work in the 5D world. Individuality, which is number 11. And then recently, in that read, holding back money, the gold coin, magnetizing, playing ball, playing hardball, are inspired to guard his third energy. But there's frustration there and insecurities to manipulate that, maybe wanting to manipulate that third energy into his favor. The foundation from that read was the Empress announcing judgments of family and wake-up call, or the King of Pentacles, or a mother or grand announcing something to a big wealthy family about the King of Pentacles, or to them opening her heart. Centrally, getting over loss, regret, feeling sorry for themselves, stating or starting over in love, healing with dreams, and disconnecting, not seeing eye to eye with an Aquarius. A party, a celebration, group, friends, or kids, whatever it is, with the Page of Swords reversed, negative self-talk, gossip or slander, giving up, surrendering. The Page of Cups reversed, who's vulnerable, shy, rejected, or whiny, crybaby or spoiled child who always expects their way. And again, the two children can just reference the inner children of the masculine and feminine, the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. The challenge being the divine justice, what's fair, powerlessness, financial drain or loss of power, money and independence, or the single status of the masculine. Defenseless to the energies of others' attacks, the juggler, the King of Cups reversed, displaying high vibration, but sidestepping directions or drinking on the side, or manipulative or emotionally detached. Unstable, moving or ending a marriage, or a party that was canceled, or an event that was canceled due to someone being drained or sick of it, or burned or over-radiated, and now implementing a plan. Now crowning, lightning strikes, so lighting could strike as well, but lightning strikes to heal and forgive. Not expressing feelings of walking away and within to find that missing piece or rejection, so the masculine keeping that all to themselves. Justice or a judge, could be Libra as well with Justice card, doesn't want to know how you feel. They just want the facts. At work, unhappy, unsatisfied, not getting their way, unstable home or moving or ending a marriage or a party, not sleeping, rising above, even levitating, suffering in silence, so numb, comfortably numb. Healing from separation, just wouldn't wake up, offering help or loyalty to be one who drinks or chronically is depressed. The Hierophant reversed, divorced or spiritual, a break in contract or tradition, or just a Taurus reversed. Suddenly jealousy, falling for someone, defenseless to the energies, avoiding the dance of a secret passion from work, jealousy, insincerity, refusing to offer love. The King of Pentacles superhero in knowing, over jealousy, games with karmic, addiction to drama and manipulation through withholding until they get their way. And that was at 228 where I turned the page, which is the High Priestess and the Two of Flames or Two of Wands. The Leo or ego taming the beast, offering something healthy, but the karmic refusing to eat or drink what they don't like or want, or just continue with alcohol issues. The Hierophant reversed, or Taurus, is done fighting, stubborn in jealousy games, in a slowdown or downturn at work, must save money now and stop spending. Unstable at home, falling from grace, or moving to reunion without expressing feelings from a nightmare. Soon for the masculine, the Eight of Cups reversed, walking away, where the worst is over with the conflict, or battle, or fight, whatever it was, even a competition, could be just sports. The Knight of Pentacles offers help to share rebalancing. The Divine Masculine is coming up as the Eye of the Tiger, ready to pounce. The Hermit sheds light, and the Queen of Swords speaks, a bold move to be strong. For Romance Angels, the heart-to-heart conversations came up. This could be the one. Yes, this is your soulmate. Wedding, this involves marriage, and then codependencies and trust. You deserve love, and then true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. Around the Divine Masculine are how he is seen. Transition from refusal of new life to the Queen of Pentacles sitting pretty without a family. Offer of a new love coming from Justice, divorce, and or Libra. Full portal transformation. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Ten of Cups reversed, which only 2 cups were showing. At night, defenseless to jealousy, insincerity, and no love from a family. Nature, healing, and love came up for the Divine Masculine, and possibly a boy judged sweetly for their ego issues. Health, personal growth, domestic harmony, teaching and learning, and follow your dreams all came up. The Six of Cups, or the twins, the sealed Divine Feminine left out in the cold, or left others behind. Does the masculine feel like she left him behind, even though he was committed and married, and no matter what the situation is, even if there weren't, right? So they may, even if it wasn't true, they may feel that way and have that perception. Jealousy at work, or secret passion, and suffering in silence, working on details or to align, desires of a one-night stand, or worried about falling short with the Queen of Cups reversed, who may be crying. Looking or going back to flames without peace. The Empress dumping attachments and the King of Swords now back on top. Leading the way to get over it in sudden events, an epiphany, or with orgasm. The King of Wands reversed with an opportunity to surrender and split. Cut through the BS, the Dark Knight with negative self-talk. Divorce wars, rejection. No options but twin, impatient, or fallen angel in detox of ego or an awakening to release from inner prison or outer prison. Detox from chaos of the Empress, strong in a transition and or death or a portal or a transformation, holding back money or a new life to get over their sadness, a divorce, walking away and within from a family cycle, healing from separation of twins and forgiveness. Suffering, looking back without peace, dissatisfaction in a bold move to travel or just move to Emperor, which is all about reason and logic and control, power, chaos, and detox, of refusal of a loan or new life. Suffering, the Empress getting over it, healing, challenged by justice and or divorce, and being strong. So now we're going to get into the read for today. We're going to get right there so we have enough time. All right, so like I said, we got up and away in my beautiful balloon before the read today, or as I was dealing out the cards. Today, I cut the Sirian Starseed deck at 10:10, and we completed at 11:11. It was perfect. Not only was it at 11:11, but the suits came up as 11:11 too. We had 1111 today, so amazing. The major arcana were the Hermit, Solar Deity. Well, Hermit's called Reflection in this deck. Solar Deity, which is the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, the Great Wheel. Guidance, which is like the Hierophant. Luna, which is the Moon. And then Higher Self, which is the High Priestess. Before the read came up Strength and Reason. Reason again being the Hierophant. And you see there's a lot of similarities between this read and the one that I did very early this morning. There's a lot of parallels, so it's reconfirming a lot of the stuff that came up from the first read. And I told you about the balloon, breaking all that down. The numbers and the coding line here for this read, for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, and again, that's for the Divine Feminine with her masculine within as well. We had 77, and then 910 begin again. The 77 was very important. It was coming up as the pair of the twins coming together, the 7 and the 7. And I was literally getting weddings today with like whoever was standing up for them. 2 on one side and 3 on the other, but the 7-7 of the twins together. Or it could just be them with only one person, like who's bringing them together. So again, we had 1 sword, 1 cup, 1 wand, 1 pentacles. That's 1, 1, 1, 1 at the time of 11:11. And then I had texted someone, it was 11:17, and then I was getting literally wedding images. So it was really beautiful where everyone's happy. Like there's a lot of family members there, but everybody was happy. Then the code line was all about pride and communication. But again, the CO and part of the M were covered up. So it was coming up as N, M, communication. So it breaks up as, for me, N is Jesus energy, but it was Jesus being turned around. So he might be going through his dark night or just a little upside down. And then the M for Mary Magdalene, and then again, the uni and cation. So the unification, and the vacation is the charged ion. The connection that magnetizes because they have space held open. Also, I was getting a hex wrench or an L wrench, the Allen key, so Allen came up. I was also getting the rail line or the railway. I was getting, you know how the trains have different rail lines. I was getting R1. Also, a poker, like a fireplace poker, but it can reference to the game poker as well. However you take it is how it fits. The flower also, without the flower on top, came up. To turn left on Route 1, the thrill or the trill of the high vibration from the flower, because flowers have very high vibration, that's missing. The Calla lily. So referencing the pride and communication, the Queen of Cups definitely came up, and again, she's the Queen of Hearts. The 7 came up, which is the feminine within the masculine. It's also the chariot of ascension, and them ascending together. The 9, the collective consciousness, the wise one, the hermit, came up also in the coding here. So the hermit or the wise one, collective consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the feminine or the filter. 3S came up. Not sure about the 3S yet, but that can just reference Trinity and Sophia, because she's the feminine collective consciousness, or Christ consciousness. She's Christos Sophia. Or the butt touching Sophia, that 3S. It was like a butt bumping up against Sophia. So again, referencing cuddling with your twin. The Queen of Cups coming up as the wise one of emotions, the heart, the Queen of Hearts, the feminine within the masculine, and then the pride of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the unication. The pride of them coming together, the Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and then of course the pride would be any children they have. The magnetization, and again that time on the cross that they spent together, her helping him, her always being there with him. Try going within, hermit, as the masculine, going into his feminine. Compassion and endings. The divine feminine transmutes the BS, or the bowel sounds. The transmutation of the physical body is the liver and the kidney, right? They transmute all the negative energies to get rid of what the body doesn't need anymore. The Queen of Hearts, the chariot of Cinderella, okay? The chariot is the divine feminine, not Cinderella in the chariot. It's saying, it's getting past the BS of the fairy tale, because what it's saying to the divine masculine is the divine feminine is not Cinderella. She is the chariot. You are both the chariot together. The divine feminine within the divine masculine, the chariot is the number 7. And Spirit's connecting with me. Pride of I was just getting Jerusalem, but that's not what I wrote. I was getting Jesus and Mary Magdalene, but that makes sense as well. The pride of Jesus and Mary Magdalene and the unication. Again, cation is a charged ion, a connection that is magnetized to draw something in because it's holding space. So the numbers came up 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, all the odd numbers, right? The triggers, the thorn in your side. All the odd numbers trigger you to get to expansion and then back to the even again, to come home, to get back to 10, to begin again. The 7-7 is the sweet spot, the high vibe connection. So whereas we talk about numbers and that the middle number would be 5 of 1 to 10, right? Or 1 to 9, that for most people 5 would be the sweet spot, right? Because it's the middle of the road. But in the human body, we always want to go just above that. We err on the side of the light, or we err on the side of the alkaline as opposed to the acidic, which relates to cancer. So here it's saying, for the normal human, 5 is good, and even 6. But for the twins, your sweet spot is the 7-7. You're at a very high vibration. That is your sweet spot, the high vibe connection. And then VEBS came up, which is current federal employee benefits. It's a report for their employees about their retirement benefits. And then Southeast was also coming up with that. All right, so SE and then VEBS. I was just getting Proverbs too. And severing, but not so much that. But Southeast and the VEBS. So it might have to do with some kind of federal union in the Southeast, because, you know, picketing and unions have been coming up this week. Then I was getting rail ties, or the train at the Y in the road, right? So we always talk about staying on your track. It was guiding divine masculines to turn left, you know, toggle up, go more into your feminine. The R, the capital R, is that 0 of source containment in a human body. The line down connects it to the ground, right? Grounds it, and then the tail that comes out is the connection to the next, the other humans connecting. Human grounded and extending oneself out to another. The love train, so that L wrench, or the Allen wrench, was coming up as L for love. The love train, get on that love train and turn left. The high vibe human flower, to the 9s, dress up to the 9s and take your divine feminine out on the town. BS again was coming up as bowel sounds, the transmutation, the ability to hear what you are actually transmuting. Very interesting that that's coming up here. And then Taurus was coming up as the bull, and that's Latin for bull. And of course, BS is bullshit, right? So we're coming up with Taurus. And I wasn't getting there actually go to the bathroom, but you know, like when they're excited or they're really surprised or shocked, it was coming up as like the Taurus shits, right? So they may poop in their pants or something, I don't know. Or it's just, you know, reference. It doesn't mean it's literally going to happen, but my voice is breaking up, so it's about the masculine needing to speak to the feminine. The Taurus portal is coming up, and of transmutation, smart, ambitious, trustworthy. Taurus is the anchor of the zodiac, proud of drama, proud of having drama-free life and relationships. And then this is coming up from Moon-Calendar Astro, Seek.com, that also the Adam's apple is one of the locations of Taurus. And that was interesting for Adam and Eve. And that comes up in the read again as well with the Destiny card. So, Taurus is the second sign, of course, and it runs from the 30 degree to the 60 degree of the zodiac. The earth, triplicity, and feminine and fixed quality, or quadruplicit. I can't speak. The full moon in Taurus comes up November 12th, 2019. And then following that, I'm just reminding you guys, we have 12-12-12 this year. And 12-21-12 this year in December. The full moon in Taurus on 11/12 or November 12th is at 13:34 UTC time, which is 9:34 East Coast, and it's coming up as 19 degrees and 51 inch, which is the Sun and the King of Swords. Excuse me. All right, so the Sun, the masculine, the energy, the sunshine of the King of Swords in his truth. Right, because the Sun is our portal to the central Sun. The Hermit. And remember when I got a message a couple weeks ago about turning around, the total eclipse of the heart, that all the masculine has to do as the Sun is not to look at the moon, his own reflection, but to turn around to the divine feminine, the central Sun. Okay, the source of his energy. So the Hermit, so the masculine should know that anyone who drains him is not for his highest good. And he should remember that every time he was with his divine feminine, it always raised his energy. He just felt sad afterwards because then he was no longer with her. So as we get into this read is the Hermit. And there may be some triggering stuff in there for you guys, but it's not for me to let out my stuff. It is whatever's coming up for me to give to you guys. And if it triggers you, so be it. That's good. Because the purge, when you cry, especially a really big one, allows you to reset and then clear yourself again. Okay, so it's like a tower purge. So that might be coming up why the 8 and the 16 came up, because in August it's really important for us to purge and purge and purge. It's when we kind of, after Lionsgate, we always feel human again, and it's a really odd feeling for us. Between August and September, we feel like we're just thrown back into the normal 3D world again, and we don't know what to do. We're just like kind of flailing around, and we lose our connection a bit. So it's telling you now, it's because this is time for you to purge, right? The summer months are for vacation. It's not time to work because you need a break from the world. Get it all out. The Hermit comes up in the beginning of this read. We have these cards here, the underlying energy, the Strength card, which is a tiger in this deck. Definitely a tiger, with his eye on the prize, salivating, ready to chomp. This is the Three of Swords here, and also the Reason card, which is the Emperor. And then the Hermit is there on top as the Reflection card. So the Hermit, with the Strength upright, the Three of Swords upright, and the Emperor, or the Reason, reversed. And if someone's reversed, I'm probably going to tell you more often than not of the negative qualities of what that means. But sometimes a reversal can just be someone who's not having a great day. So it doesn't have to be bad. I just want to adjust my seat a little bit. Hold on. All right, so for those of you, and this is just a reminder to everyone, for me, I have to readjust the way I sit because I'm not always sitting in a way that's serving me, right? Because I have back issues. So make sure you're always doing things that are a good habit for you and don't get into bad habits. It's about always changing things around, paying attention to something that might need a little tweaking. It doesn't have to be a big change. Just one little shift could make all the difference. The Hermit, okay, and taming the beast with the eye on the prize, the mark, the X, separation, and the Reason, out of control of the masculine or abusing his power and going within. The hermiting, to illuminate his own emotional fulfillment and happiness and what that means to him. The purging, the going through the ringer, the squeezing out every bit of juice, trying to keep the divine feminine down or under his control. Overwhelmed, dumped, or just crying, or peeing a lot, or vomiting a lot, especially if they went out drinking, could be sick, or somebody could be going through for cancer treatment as well. But the angel taking one step at a time off the beaten path patiently, the masculine, coming clean with family to end a cycle. The King of Cups, grounding and integrating, lack of peace, stuck in their emotions, of inability to manifest, or a child with a disability, or a student who never learns, or just in need of a little help and too stubborn to ask. Or where in the past there may have been poor judgment or decisions and deliberating too long, now he is hearing the wake-up call. Final judgments are coming in, or an announcement of the Page of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed. And I believe they were both reversed in the first read today as well. So when I got the Page of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, I pulled my other Rider-Waite deck cards just to confirm who they were or the energies that they were coming from. And this took me in a whole nother rant. So we got a lot of really detailed information for you guys today. So just bear with me. It gets a little intense, but then it gets really good and lighter, as we get toward the end. So just bear with me. In the Queen of Swords, in her trying to get back her gold coin, because remember I talk about the gold coin as the Christ consciousness, and they were all born with it. Little girls are born with the pink and the Christ consciousness, and the boys with the green and the Christ consciousness. And they don't connect. If they don't connect with the opposite parent, there is an issue for them. Okay, there's a wound created because the feminine with the pink needs the green taught from her father, and vice versa for the masculine child, he needs the pink taught by the mother. So if they're missing a parent, they grow a wound and they lose something about themselves, their Christ consciousness, or they don't get the pink of the compassion or the green of the physical health or the physical groundedness, because masculine naturally grounds. So here it was coming up, I tell you, as a woman grows up and she becomes a mother, she loses her gold coin because she gives birth to a child. And so from her love, she gives her gold coin to her child. So they begin their gold coin again. But she now becomes the Queen of Swords in mourning, in silver, not gold, until she learned her own worth again. And she can regain her own gold coin, but now it takes work. It's not as easy as it was as a child. So in the Queen of Swords, the woman of mourning, trying to get back her gold coin with Excalibur and speaking her truth, putting it in his court, but then him defensive or triggered, wanting to spew back at her and give her a what for, but instead he works on details to align and crack codes. Not expressing feelings about offering love and having been ignored or being ignored, rejected of the feminine a fourth time, when 3 times you're out, due to the Queen of Pentacles stability, even though she can be messy. So this Queen of Pentacles coming up here can be multiple different people. But it's referencing here, whereas the feminine gave the masculine 3 strikes and then he was out, and then gave him another chance again, the masculine starts questioning the divine feminine's own worthiness of self, right? So he's saying, well, what's with that? And then at least I got my karmic, the Queen of Pentacles, whose stability, even if we don't really love each other or whatever their situation is, and even though she can be messy, at least I have stability with her. Or thinks the divine feminine is a prima donna, flaky or fickle with her emotions, especially if she's had multiple relationships before, or worried that she expects things to always go her way. Or if he has more, one person has more money than the other, there's always a worry there about a power play. When him and his partner, so him worrying that the divine feminine might expect her way all the time, when him and his partner are sitting pretty financially and in their social realms of the 3D. So reaping rewards, the Page of Wands reversed, uninspired to put out time, energy, or money to fix, repair, or make amends, presently over the worst of pain and betrayal, getting ready, magnetizing coin, playing ball, or holding back a new life, or was refused alone, afraid to leap, or fell from grace, working so hard to resist an illness, or to take care of an ill child, or just kids or Leo that's very draining, or work that's just draining, lacking faith, burdened by overexposure or getting burned, the King of Cups Leo, or father, or his partner, the King of Cups Leo that comes up can be the father of the karmic or the masculine, but it's coming up here as the father of the Leo Queen of Wands, which would then be the karmic's father, who wants to take the divine feminine down. or that her world, the Queen of Wands reversed, is upside down, or just incomplete now with the Emperor upright, the Hierophant reversed, but no Justice present, or that can represent an Aries, a Taurus, and a Libra. So the Empress, or the Emperor, this was just the side cards, it's not in the read. The Emperor's actually reversed in the read, but in the explanation, the Emperor was coming upright. So in a side note, where the Emperor may be usually upright, there's some kind of upside down, or her world turned around for the karmic, or feeling incomplete because the Aries or Emperor or Taurus or Hierophant reversed, but now the Justice, which is really important, this came up, or the Libra, is no longer present, or one who left the group. Now these are the three in this deck. The three patriarchy cards that come up are those three cards: the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Justice. They are in bold red. They are representative of the patriarchy, and they can at the same time be representative of the three wise men. But why does it have to be wise men, right? It's feminine and masculine in the spirit realm. There's no, one over the other in the spirit realm. So they were coming up as all reversed. But here in the sidebar read, the Emperor was upright and no Justice present. So that could just represent injustice as well, or one who left the group. So there's a group or gathering or a group of friends or kids that come together with the King of Wands to celebrate healing or dreams come true, or the King of Wands Aquarius is on a quest to take down the house and or take advantage of a Queen of Cups reversed, who could be the feminine, could be somebody else as well, or the King of Wands is hearing about something from kids or friends, how the Aquarius ordered others to do their dirty work for them and destroy someone's property or give them a scare or a warning. An immature player or young adult or teen show of power to not mess with their family or friend, to hurt, and them though in turn wanting to hurt the Queen of Cups, scare her or make her feel vulnerable, and that can very much represent the Divine Feminine. Or someone now wants to cause drama or a minor event to intimidate the Queen of Cups back into backing away or making them vulnerable so the masculine can sexually have their way with them. It says hip hip hooray next, but I was getting hypocrisy. So someone's being a hypocrite coming forward here. And this can be especially, it depends on the masculine's MO, because there's such a variation of masculines from one extreme to the other. So some of them are players, right? And the other ones are very strict as far as what they will allow themselves, right? They hold themselves up to a very high expectation of perfection. So you can't live up to either extreme, right? They're both abusive. One's neglect, one's abuse. So hip hip hooray came up for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Or with hypocrisy, well, maybe now someone can. Or after a party, a celebration or an honoring, the guys were all out drunk or were kicked out of the house, and the Knight of Wands reversed had a one-night stand with the Queen of Cups reversed. Could be a bachelor party or a work party where the Divine Masculine went without their partner as well, or it could represent the karmic without the masculine as well, or just a Divine Masculine pretending that 5D sex doesn't count as cheating, even though the Divine Feminine is left feeling abused and cheated on, left for dead, that he hates her. How else could someone do this to her? And would he say the same thing if his daughter came to him? If his daughter approached him with the same problem, would he just ignore the sex from your true love with another woman? No worries, honey. It's just your imagination, and it will go away, honey. And then the daughter, who already has issues as a teen, and how many teens think of killing themselves all the time, now this is someone who wants to kill themselves, right? So if you're not an adult and you're stable and able to go through a dark night of the soul and actually survive it, for a teen who goes to their parent with the same issue, they could definitely want to kill themselves afterwards because their parent is not listening to them. They're not getting them. They're not honoring their truth. So I'm just presenting this because it's a parallel to the masculine. This is what the feminine's going through. And if it was your daughter going through the same, would you be as so nonchalant about it, like it's no big deal, it's not really cheating? Because her own parent refuses to see something that he or she doesn't understand, to honor her anyway, despite his discomfort in it. And does your wife or girlfriend know that she's being forced to have sex with you and your twin? And if she doesn't care, because she does know, why in the name of God would you want to stay with them or live with yourself? Doing that to someone else who actually loves you no matter what? She has to in order to love herself. The divine feminine is supposed to rise above, unable to affect others' free will, or the divine masculine and others' free will, and be okay and send love to the karmic, and trust the lesson in all of this, that she will rise to a higher vibration, pulling the third energy up, that it is her pride that she allows to hurt herself, as her divine masculine lies with someone else, to learn his lessons as to not repeat those same patterns with his divine feminine, or whatever addictions the divine masculine has that would hurt the divine feminine even more if he were with her now. The man on the moon, or shall we say little boy with moon boots on, or long line of reptilians, 3D energy that is present all around us and in our own children. So there's no judgment there. The ripple effect, the butterfly effect of triggers and purging and others catching the drift. From example, that our tears become beautiful songs, and the pearl and the oyster or clam that can't be fully appreciated until the clam opens their mouth and speaks their truth. That all is well and all is love. The two wrongs don't make it right, but if you blow it up, metaphorically that is, sometimes physically, then things shift. After the long, hard cry, the reset, the quantum leap. And that was at 1:01 p.m. So use the magician embodiment on both sides with source contained between them. The reset, the quantum leap. After you cry, there is an automatic reset. All right? So when you needed to cry and you couldn't help but cry, so what happened between that time and the time you're finished crying, where there's a reset and all of a sudden you've surrendered? This is the quantum leap, the surrender. The third energy, the becoming pregnant with a new soul. They're all the quantum leap, the 0 point of creation. In the green room, the wave vortex, the actor before the show, the calm before the storm, the vacuum of backpedaling to regain momentum forward. Leapfrog, Prince Charming, and all it takes is a kiss to bliss out. The King and Queen of Cups are both reversed in this read. The Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands are both reversed as well. Grounding and integrating, no peace. Catching drops from the trumpeter's song. The calla lily with the thorn in its heart. Seen to be overly sexual, and yet in truth innocent of heart, of angelic realms. The hermit alone with their light. The Queen of Wands reversed, out being seen in a split without their lover, and their world upside down, or due to the divine feminine being in another world. And that was at 1:10, the magician and the wheel of fortune. Destiny, good fortune. So truth on a stick as we turn the page. And by the way, 12:43 and 44 came up on the top of this page, which I didn't tell you because I was in the middle of the sentence. So the hangman of the 43 of the 3 of cups, and then the 4 of cups. We go from 3 of cups, which is joy and celebration, to the 4 of cups, which is then grounding and integrating and being bored. A time that's very much needed and required in nature, right? Where the flowers have to rest before they're ready to start again. So the 3 of cups was reversed. 4 of cups, I believe, was upright in the read today. As we turn the page, it's now 111, 111. And this read was done at 11:11, and all the cards were 1 each. So we had 11:11 again, and here we have 111. And also there was no stress at all when I started this read, and then as soon as I started getting into it, I got stressed. So the masculine's definitely stressing over this. Release your ex came up for the masculine, and underneath that was free yourself. So there's nothing about this underlying energy that's not telling the masculine to be on his own and loving himself first. Release your ex and free yourself. Don't fence me in. And you see this all right here, right? All the underlying energies that I always put on this deck here. Release your ex, free yourself, and then we have the world upside down, the Queen of Wands reversed, the Lovers reversed, and the Ace of Swords reversed, which is a lie, a split, a divide. So the pearl that comes out, as I was finishing the sentence, The Queen of Wands reversed, out being seen in a split with their lover and world upside down, or due to Divine Feminine being in another world, or their world upside down. Truth on a stick, the pearl that comes out with Excalibur from the stone after so long. All right, so it's referencing the pearl in the clam due to the bacteria getting in. It's the same thing as the sword in the stone. The stone is the Divine Feminine. Okay? The pearl that comes out, right? So not the sword that's in the stone, when it's pulled from the stone, it comes out with residue on it, just like the pearl is made. But this residue is actually the stone, the Excalibur from the stone, after so long. The calcification, the calcified Divine Feminine had become the Queen of Swords, the War Widow, the lover frozen, so that movie's coming up, frozen in time, for all eternity, a statue, the trophy that never happened, evergreen, and these are lyrics from my Christo Sophia song, evergreen but never seen, her heart expanding as he returns her love. And worlds were built, and skies and doves, and shame and guilt, and peace and love, and dreams of what a beautiful world could be. Her portal of love created the heavens above. Sophia. All right, so this is the Christos Sophia. Sophia is the feminine godhead. And then I was getting the sorcerer's stone. The source, errors, stone. The sorcerer's stone. So the error in source is that the Divine Feminine became a rock, right? So she became stone because her heart was so broken. She became the pearl, the growth of the bacteria that got into Excalibur, into the Divine Masculine. The gallstones, kidney stones, grief calcified exponentially. The big work love is out in the open. The injustice with 2 spoons of fruit instead of sugar. Tinkerbell taken down, down, down to the depths of hell and back, releasing from prison of energy taken without permission or free will, because, of course, Source is in charge of free bliss, not us. Purging every last wound from every last crevice, so no one will ever be able to take advantage of you again. The final rescue of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, where the victim rescues the perpetrator, and they ascend higher and higher ever after. In knights in white satin, never reaching the end, except for the butt, of course, a means to an end. Matching bookends, all truth aside. And then completion came up as number 9, with manifestation beneath it, number 8. 8 and 9. Manifestation. So again, we have man, the I am presence, the fest, or the celebration of the A of the human connection, and the T of the toggling upward to the etheric realms. And then the ion, the connection, the eye on the prize, the chakra system with the third eye, the O of the human embodiment of Source, and the N of Jesus. The Emperor reversed, letting go of what energy or savings they have left, to dump their burdens and confess. He wants to taste the Holy Grail, but he is jealous, insincere, and has an inability to love. Out of control, abusing power, all of those things that he knows about himself, stops him. The grounding and integrating, what it would take, the dark moon with the stingers, and Rocket Man and Major Tom to ground control, right? So we have Rocket Man is the masculine, and then Major Tom is the feminine. Tom, T for toggle up, and O-M, Om. And by the way, when I was like oming a loud sound, because I was trying to see what colors I was getting, those low omings were very much about magenta, that masculine color. So the dark moon with stingers and Rocket Man and Major Tom being the feminine, up in the etheric realms, to ground control, the masculine, or a confession that he became his father, or confessed to his father, who then lost it. There is no love lost there. floating in a tin can on the dark side of the moon, with grass and ginger dressing, or Chinese red and gold dishes, or drapes, or trappings. Lemongrass, mustard seed, power packs, jet packs, hanging from the chandelier in the War of the Roses, or the fall of the Roman Empire, the House of Windsor, President Trump as the patriarchy is falling. As above, so below. What must rise must also fall. Sophia rising to meet the Tin Man halfway. Rockets' red flare are all bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag, that red flag, was still there. And that references the bull again. We see in the card the red flag is hung above the bull so the bull can't see it. And it's so funny because I just watched a movie where there was a bull and the guy was, I forget what the movie was. He was in a red car and he had a red jacket on, and then this bull's looking at him. It's really funny. So here we're referencing Taurus again, of the masculine. The rocket's red flare, all bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our red flag of the bull was still there. The temptation of Christ. The 136 is the magician and the 10 of wands. The great burden, the weight of the world upon his shoulders. The great confession. The death on the cross. And it's making me want to cry, okay. I definitely got connection when I wrote that down at 136. When the flag was still there, for the land of the free and the home of the brave. You may all sit down now. All right, so this is the end of the, right, the end of the opening ceremonies, the end of the honoring at the graduation or whatever it is. There's definitely all of those gatherings coming up here in this read. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. You may all sit down now, please. As above, so below, honors are bestowed. At 137, which is the magician and the King of Cups, unconditional love, 37. We go into recently, and I'm going to tell you all of the signs. That's why it was just 10707. I'm going to tell you the signs and all the court cards, and then I'm going to show you around the read, and then I'm going to read the rest. So Cancer was upright and reversed, Libra upright and reversed, Pisces upright and reversed, Scorpio upright and reversed, as well as Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Gemini, all upright and reversed. Aries was only reversed, and Virgo was only upright. Sagittarius was also only upright, and Capricorn only reversed. The Empress was upright today, the Emperor reversed. The Sun and the Moon were both reversed, the Lovers were reversed, but the Two of Cups was upright with the Six of Cups, you know, that pure light love, which is great. The Four of Wands was also reversed, the union energy. Of the Aces, only the Ace of Wands was upright here. Of the Kings, all the Kings were upright except the King of Cups. Of the Queens, the only Queen that was upright was the Queen of Swords, the woman of the hour today. The Knights were all upright except the Knight of Swords. The Pages were all reversed. Don't deal with little kids today, you're going to be sorry. And then the Tens. And then I was just getting tens? Tens? Are they the socks? They were definitely coming up as well. Of the 10 cards, so all of the ending cards, and you really want them all reversed to be complete. The only one that was reversed was the 10 of Swords, right? So the worst is over as far as the pain. But the burdens are still there. The 10 of Cups, I wrote 10 of Cups upright, but I think it was actually reversed. And then the 10 of Pentacles was definitely upright here. Of the nines, the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles were upright. So the 9 of Pentacles upright is great because that's your sovereign. But the 9 of Swords is that purging and suffering. So masculine's definitely going through that. And whenever he goes through it, it might trigger the feminine into a purge as well. Needing to squeeze out those last juices, right, of wounds. Of the fives, the only 5 that was upright was the 5 of Cups, which is grieving, right? Feeling sorry for yourself, not going to the 4th leg of the race, clinging to the baton and not letting go, the old and the new, and feeling sorry for self, or just grieving, feeling loss and or regret. All of the other fives were reversed. So, recovering, no more fights, and the war is over. So, but we're still in the after the war effects of the PTSD issues, which that wound keeps coming up over and over again this week. So, before I go on with the rest, I'm going to show you the cards. All right, we have the Hermit as the underlying energy. Recent past is that Seven of Orbs, or the Seven of Swords. The underlying energy there is the Nine of Cups, but it's reversed today. All right, so we have, you can't really see under there, but the Hangman Awake was there, as well as the, I think it was the Eight of Swords reversed. And so here are the other clarification cards on that. The center of the read is the solar deity, the sun, but that energy was reversed today. The Sage of Chalices is the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Hearts. She's the challenge today. The other underlying energies, where you see the Emperor's reversed twice in this read. The crowning is the Destiny card, which is upright today. Very good there. Bridging across there to the near future is guidance, which is like the Hierophant, but that's reversed energy as well, which may be a good thing as well. And then we have the Mask, and how he sees himself is the King of Wands in his Shaman energy today, which is perfect. All right. Around him, you see the Romance Angel cards. And then around the other side is the Moon, which is reversed. So there's deception energy around him, or how he is seen as deceptive. Then the blocks he needs to clear has to do with the Seven of Crystals, or Seven of Pentacles, which for me in this deck is the Divine Feminine's heart. Rapunzel in the Tower, he needs to clear blocks about the Divine Feminine's heart, the illusions about it. Then we have the number cards there on the right, and the last card is the Higher Self, or the High Priestess. Above that is that Ten of Cups, which I want to confirm for you, but I'm pretty sure it was, oh no, it's upright, it's upright. The Ten of Cups is upright there, with the top dog on top. I think that in my side read, the Ten of Cups came up reversed, so it can be both energies today. All right, so either way, it's an end of a cycle, but one is a lot of extreme unhappiness as well. So somebody's family could be unhappy, but others are just completing the cycle. So there's 10 of Cups there with that one cup on top, and then we have the Ace of Cups, which is actually reversed today. So it's definitely purging and people being dumped there, overwhelmed. There definitely could be services still. There's definitely death this week, so some people are going to funeral services. And then those are the other clarifying cards, okay? I'm going to show you the cards I pulled for the signs. The top ones are the underlying energies. That Ace of Cups upright was the very bottom of the deck. And then we start with that Ten of Swords reversed as Aries, going across down to Pisces, which is Judgment card reversed. And then I pulled these afterward for everyone. So the Fool is that fifth card down from the bottom after the ones at the top, okay? And I'll get to that in a minute. We have time. I think we'll be okay. I know these are going long, but you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. All right, so the rest of the read, starting from recently position. So recently, at 137, we had the King of Cups and the Magician. Fireworks, and again, that breaks down to fire and works. That fire does work, transmutation. Fireworks display and a hot air balloon, unseen, but two pointing up, two people, and seeing something floating above. A space shuttle, a tin can, and the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, or the Scared Crow, and the Cowardly Lion who wouldn't cross the road. The yellow brick road is actually orangey, like 24-karat gold. Vitamin C and the sun flares. Flinging arrows across the world, headed east. I'm just getting Middle East. Arrows coming straight for one of the two spectators, or twins. Shadow aspects being taken out by missile under the radar, or radio transmission. Up late at night, in heartbreak or separation, the worst is over, in the swords dropping out of their back. Someone concedes from the race. So this can reference the masculine, but it can reference the patriarchy as well. So hopefully no missiles are going off, but there's definitely coming up someone conceding from a race. And I don't watch anything on TV, so I have no idea. I'm not ignorant, I just don't watch. So you can let me know in the comments if there's something I need to know. Announced. So something is announced, someone conceding from a race, or announced, or some kind of court announcement, or divorce, some kind of legal announcement, or it could be divorce judgment, comes out expressing feelings in a fast-paced exchange of energy and or communication, or travel could be, or some kind of declaration of juggling, performing, keeping up appearances, or a news report on TV that reports a death, or a dark night, a transformational bridge, keeping vibration high for one twin as the other goes into dark night. There's no joy or celebration at home of the Queen of Wands reversed, unhappy, unsatisfied, not getting her way, with the King of Swords upright. In separation, he is rising above. The foundation is the Nine of Cups reversed. In detox, chaos, or the Page of Swords reversed, negative self-talk or spying, a kid mouthing off, immature message or communication, ADD, etc. Awakening releases the prisoner in a bold move to ascend above dissatisfaction or unhappiness, or feelings of being alone. Centrally is the solar deity, the sun, but it's reversed. Drained, sick, looking back, or sick of going back, grieving, loss or regret, holding on loosely, grounding and saving energy and money, right? And being moderate. The Leo frustrated, unable to take the divine feminine down. So whenever Leo comes up, it could be a Leo person or just ego. Frustrated, unable to take the divine feminine down, who is rising above deception of third-party situation, gossip, addictions, spell work, overindulgent parties at the Queen of Wands home, but there's no joy there, just arrogance and unhappiness, challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, who could be a Leo, or it could just be her own ego, and Scrooge energies are coming up around there, stuck in emotions, right? So holding on too tight. Scrooge can just be, it doesn't have to be about money at all. It can just be about holding on to the masculine energies too tightly. So Queen of Cups reversed can be the divine feminine, but it also could be somebody else around the masculine. There's lots of women at work and sisters and friends and family, all that kind of stuff. So it could be a mother as well. But it's coming up as Leo, or just that their ego is getting the best of them, holding on too tightly, or being Scrooge, and someone who, you know, won't release their energy, time, or money, stuck in their emotions without peace, unable to go with the flow, with the burdens that they have, the hard labor, the weight of the world upon their shoulders, resistance to or by the King of Wands. So that's definitely the burden for the feminine if the masculine won't come forward. Both could have Leo or ego, right? Or both could have, obviously everyone has ego. The King of Wands is coming up as very unhappy at home, and also coming up as definitely fire in their chart, or the man of passion. All work with no peace, trying to control the beast, trying to keep money away from either his karmic, his children, or the divine feminine, or the Queen of Cups reversed, or keeping her from buying stuff, or collecting more animals in the house. So that would reference the karmic or a child. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio are coming up involved here, so all water signs, as the Hermit or Virgo sheds light on deception about the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups, both reversed, who could be two kids fighting, or verbally abusive and or spoiled, right? So they're just fighting with each other, without option or without options, or one is angry but the other is holding their tongue, and the other vulnerable or shy, or always crying or feeling rejected, or the kids always just being mean to each other, or that the two both did something together that was bad. Rumors or negative talk or a message, bad news, or just under the radar. So somebody might have just made it through something. You know, like when you do the limbo thing, I'm getting someone just making it under the gate. But these kids could have just made it under the radar if they did something wrong and were getting in trouble for something. And that could have to do with radars on the road too. Someone might have gotten a speeding ticket. But 214 and then 215 came up here as the angel and the devil, right? Aren't our kids all the angel and the devil, right? Or them with the angel and devil on either shoulder, always not knowing what they want to do, right? Because they want to go to the temptation, or they just want to be the mommy and daddy's little angel. So they always get their way. So the High Priestess was coming up with the Temperance card of patience and angel. And then the High Priestess coming up again, so this is very feminine energy, coming up with the devil. Or the shadow side, the dark side, the shadow work that needs to be done. Someone coming up under the radar, or lied, or were actually verbally abusive, or slander, or a mirror reflection of their parents, or just of twins with the mirror reflection coming up, or the karmic reflecting the masculine in his dark side, in deception of the Queen of Cups reversed, the Hermit or Virgo, sad, missing their flame, and that can be the masculine or the feminine, and feeling dead with a large burden, destined to surrender to the awakening. Now crowning, fate, destiny, atom, and Eve bomb. Recovering from stress or purging. The Queen of Cups reversed, third party in another world. Swallowing their pride and the spit, the backwash from the trumpet. The thorn, as the Divine Masculine deliberates, and I was just getting deliberately, deliberates and studies details at work, as or with the Emperor reversed, who's out of control or freaking out or just not well and dropping all their burdens, confessing and taking care of the last details. So this Emperor here could be the masculine, or it could be a father, father-in-law, grandfather, uncle, whoever it is, who may not be well, or it can be anything else where he's just out of control and being a jerk. The Empress is letting go of emotional attachments and negative talk or messages that are draining or that they are sick of, or working through difficult emotions, issues at work, or a leave due to illness of the Divine Masculine or other worker or employee. Or it could be retirement. Surrendering or holding back an announcement of the Knight of Cups deception or an offer of love that may happen by the new moon, as I'm losing my voice because the masculine's scared, or early morning hours. So someone might get woken up at, before sunrise. The Magician behind the Queen of Swords. And this is the first time I've seen this. The Magician, as the masculine, is standing behind the Queen of Swords, speaking her truth, supporting her, offering love, trying to wake up the Hermit or Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, or save and be stable after a death or transition, or the Empress Karmic, Taurus, or Scorpio, destined to live in the past, always giving up or going back to drinking, or thinks that he will, if he's clean now. So a Sagittarius drinker is coming up. That could also be a child who has issues, and that always comes up with spell work as well, the white kiss of death. The potion maker with a big head, so conceitedness may also come up with the karmic energies. Doesn't have to be the partner, it can be children. But giving, it can be a sister also, I never say, but it can always be a sister or a brother. But there's definitely feminine energy coming up there. But someone given up in an awakening. Could be a teen child who's also going through an awakening, or a young adult as well. But soon for the masculine is the guidance card reversed, the Hierophant reversed, the break in commitments, maybe not going to the guidance counselor sessions anymore that the karmic was making him go to, or he was making her go to, or kids that had to go to the guidance counselor. But someone's not going, so kids may not have shown up and they may have gotten in trouble, or they're in the guidance counselor's office because they got in trouble. But there's a break in commitment, tradition, religion, or marriage of Taurus or Taurus reverse, just spiritual, alternative, or outside the box. Maybe uninspired because they're alone, or unsatisfied, or with drinking issues, protecting the heart of the King of Wands, or the King of Wands being in their knowing, or he now sees that the Page of Wands reverse was pretending not to know for self-preservation, just like a kid trying not to get into trouble. At home unhappy or not getting their way, too much hard work, and so they just stayed away. The Page of Cups reversed and the Justice reversed could be a child wanting to leave their parents legally, or it could be Libra and a child not getting along, or injustice of rejection, vulnerability, a lost love or lost child, or a ward of the system, or somebody arrested and is now in court. The Divine Masculine is coming up as the King of Wands, the Shaman energy, with injustice of deception or bad news, failure or feeling like they're not getting attention, or not wanting the attention, needing to stay under the radar due to negative attention. In a wake or an aftermath of sudden events, drama, a collapse, an implosion, epiphany about the gold coin, or magnetizing and holding back money, energy, and time, a new life perhaps with a dream family. So asking himself why he's doing that. The honeymoon comes up, express your love, engagement, all of them come up for the masculine. Around him or how he's seen is deception, or a new moon, or the early morning hours before sunrise. And that's at 2:39 of the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups. So during that new moon or early morning hours, ending the war, in need of help, everything gone due to overindulgences or antisocial behavior, parties, negative groups, gossip, third parties, etc., PTSD in need of assistance, or in the end of a war, there are also looters, opportunists, orphans in need of a home. Masculine needs to clear blocks of reaping rewards, his worthiness, the divine feminine's heart, due to pride or feelings of unworthiness and miscommunications. New passion offered at work or aligned with the streetcar named desire, or for him, just another notch on his belt of many, standing up for himself and fending off others, or twins in surrender, or protecting him and his kids and or the karmic from those who would hurt him. So if they'd hurt him, he doesn't want them in his world around his kids. But the Knight of Cups offers love. This also can be the King of Wands, Libra, Aries, Taurus, or Leo. They can all be the same person. The Knight of Cups offers love to sick, drained, burned, or scorned Queen of Pentacles reversed and Page of Cups reversed. Could be earth sign that's ungrounded, losing money, greedy, or physical and mental illness, or just spoiled or rejected, or losing their life force, or possibly had miscarriage recently, but could be soaking it for all it's worth so they don't have to do anything on purpose. Pride comes up, but also communication, and I can speak on miscarriage because I've had one. The pride comes up and communication, but even more so, change, relationship change, nature, and karmic completion is really important for the masculine right now. Again, karmic completion, but also nature, to allow things to happen naturally and be his natural, authentic self, the relationship change that's happening outside of him, but also within, and then just allowing change in general, since we're having Taurus come up, which is very stubborn. The Queen of Wands reversed, jealous rage put her in prison or is released on her own recognizance. Or the Queen of Wands reversed is pissed that she has to release her child to someone else, per the courts. Or just that another female will be in her child's life. The higher self or Viking princess, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Queen of Wands reversed, drinking and looking back at memories or pictures. Could be of the kids or her relationship with the divine masculine, or old lovers. Or someone who was very ill was released from their prison in passing after fighting for their life. And there is a ceremony honoring them, a funeral, or a eulogy for a Sagittarius or Pisces, fire sign, or a Scorpio or a Capricorn, destined to be number one in their world, or a secret high priestess, or psychic abilities, or the quiet one, or the religious woman, or the divine masculine, him and his higher self, his psychic abilities, the King of Swords not sharing his abilities, or or he has debt, or that he fell, lacked faith, fell from grace, or was afraid to jump. Or the King of Swords speaking on behalf of someone who may have jumped or fell to their death. So I'm very sorry if someone experienced that, especially from a young person. But it could be multiple people speaking in court, or a service, or honoring an award of some kind. Or the top dog in the family shines, a flyer. So that could be cheerleading as well, a flyer, or just memories of the end of an era. A family cycle, and again, I was getting, with the Fall of Windsor, some kind of honoring of Diana, so I don't know if that's happening, but that kind of comes up here as well. So just memories of the end of an era, a family cycle over, or just unhappy family, or the end of a cycle, or a family that's sad, or just dealing with things well, because they're all supporting each other, spiritually reaping rewards, or an inheritance, or a divorce. Either way, there's a family purging, crying, dumped, or overwhelmed, or lost an angel, or recovering addict, or just all are in recovery mode. The grounding and integrating, running back passionately away from sovereignty, the masculine, maybe running away from their own sovereignty, or finding sovereignty with the Emperor reversed, no longer fighting or conflicted, offering help with or working through a depression of a connection of partner, the King of Cups reversed, and then the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles come up there at the top together, but not really. So that's definitely energy of the feminine and the masculine. As we turn the page, it's 309. 3 is the Empress, and 9 is the Hermit. So that could definitely be the masculine and the feminine as well. The Emperor reversed coming up here, depressed. And this could also be the King of Cups reversed, or they could be two separate people, but they're coming up as the same. And that's come up for me a lot in different reads, that somebody's father is that King of Cups reversed Emperor. But again, it can represent the masculine as well. But the Emperor reversed, depressed, emotionally detached, or the King of Cups reversed, and or drinking or manipulative. But this is also coming up as the masculine, seeing this separate person as using the bond with his kids. So it could be a relative, or, you know, a boss or something like that, but using their bond with his kids in secret as the high priestess, with the high priestess and the King of Pentacles, who are not really together. The hermit, so using the kids to do something, maybe even against the divine feminine. So that was coming up here. Hermit with strong heartbreak, and the hermit can be the masculine or the feminine, or someone else, an older person. Strong heartbreak with the Emperor reversed, which is definitely coming up as a fire sign separately. Sag, Leo, and Aries all came up separately. Could be a three-way partnership that's breaking up, or the Hermit or Virgo unhappy alone without the King of Wands in a deception, coming clean or was sneaky, overexposed, drained or sick, challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, spiritual or divorced, divine feminine heart, destined to their higher self or their psychic abilities, secret, quiet, causing family unhappiness, tears, and or to be overwhelmed and now recovering. So the Hermit and or Virgo with half-truths or sneakiness, or coming clean with the Emperor reversed, who also can be an Aries, unhappy, unsatisfied, not getting their way, or doesn't want to be alone, feeling drained or sick, challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, who can just be someone who's sad or crying. It doesn't have to be something awful, but it can be very manipulative as well. It depends. But the Queen of Cups reversed, destined, good fortune, the King of Wands spiritually connected by their higher selves, divine masculine, divine feminine. The deception is out about the divine feminine's heart, her secret, her intuitiveness, with psychic abilities, without family or love dumped, and recovering from being left out, left behind, exiled, shunned, not accepted, unworthy, left for dead, but found a way to survive. The King of Pentacles embarrassed to be seen with her, stoned. The one, Excalibur, was left in. So that's the end of the read. So let's get right into the 12 signs. I hope you liked that. It was pretty significant. I'm just going to pick up these mini deck cards so I can clarify the 12 signs quickly for you. I wouldn't do it, but I really like doing the 12 signs, but I don't get a whole bunch of viewers, so not everyone really likes the 12 signs. Not sure why, but I like doing them. The dance of the 12 signs. And remember, it's always important for you to just do it because you want to do it, not because you're doing it for somebody else. If you don't love it, you shouldn't be doing it. That's what makes life and work wonderful, right? When you love your work, and you would do it even if you weren't, getting anything for it, for the love of it. And also, something, I was watching a special a couple weeks back, and it was coming up about, some people who made it in Washington. I mean, literally working for free initially, but then they end up, getting so much back because they end up selling books and making so much more than they ever would have gotten from that job that they first started out with. So just a reference for you guys. All right, so let's get over here to the 12 signs. I know it's hard to see, but I'm doing my best here. Okay. So I'm just going to shuffle while I'm telling you the underlying energies there. This one here is the 5th card down. So then we have the 4th card down, 3rd, 2, and this was the bottom of the deck. So we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is wonderful. There's an offer of love here. It could be to oneself. It could be spiritual love, self-love, or an offer of love to others, or one particular person. So someone definitely may be getting an offer of love or even a proposal there, with the Knight of Cups coming forward as well in the read. So we're going to do Aries first. This card dropped out, so the Queen of Wands is still reversed here, okay? She just dropped out. I was shuffling. I wasn't ready for that. But here's Aries with the 10 of Swords reversed. Can you see that one? Yeah. So it's just the traditional Rider-Waite. So it's just the 10 of Swords reversed, which is, the worst is over, the swords are falling out, the bliss state of pain, right? When all the pain falls out. There's actually bliss there. So, which is where addiction comes from, pain and fear. To keep getting that bliss state of feeling the pain and then having it go away, right? All right, so for Aries, 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 why do we have the 10 of Swords reversed? Why is the worst over? And then we have the Ace of Cups on top, which could be really great for Aries. Really good for Leo. Leo's got the Sun and the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. And that could just be kids as well. All right, so Aries, Aries, Aries. Why the 10 of Swords reversed? Why the 10 of Swords reversed for Aries? Today is August 20th, 2019. Everyone take a deep breath for the best and highest good of all those concerned. Christos, Sophia, Mother, Father. Please let us know what we need to know for the highest good of everyone concerned. All right, so these popped out for Aries. We have the Prisoner. We have the Chariot reversed, and then the 8 of Pentacles. So why is this with the worst is over? Okay, so they're still dealing with issues, but the worst of it is over, so that's good. Loving themselves, all right? This still may be in a prison. They still may have their hands tied. They may still be in their head, right? Being in their head too much, thinking. The Chariot reverse can definitely be like a block or a car that's broken down. Could be absolute chaos for me as well. With the Chariot there, could be someone where their car broke down on the road. It can be someone who had to go in an ambulance to the hospital. Or somebody literally might have gotten arrested. But the worst is over now, and they're dealing with it, right? So it could be definitely a kid who got arrested or got a speeding ticket, or somebody went to the hospital because they got in a little accident. But I'm not seeing anything major since the worst is over. And here we have someone aligning with their desires. So it doesn't have to be sexual. It just can be getting all their ducks in the row, cracking codes and getting aligned. But it also could be aligning with a streetcar named Desire. Okay, but I'm not seeing a lot of sexual energies here. So it's really about just saving money and getting all your ducks in a row to get all this chaos, you know, to be no longer chaos, and get out of your mind, get out of your head. That could also be, you know, realizing that you keep yourself in a prison, you know, the blinders on, but you don't have to stay there. It's always your choice. It's up to you to let the swords out of your own back. So somebody learning that lesson. These are also coming up just real quick. So we have the surrender or giving up, and this could be the twins or it could be children, right? So the kids who've been really bad lately did something really wrong, got arrested or a ticket or whatever it is, and then they were able to surrender at that point, right? Because they had to admit that they were wrong. Their pride was taken away. I'm going to leave them up there. All right, so let's go to Leo. Definitely Aries had some issues with kids probably, or their twin. And I'm not really getting, it's the past, but it's positive memories, so that's not really relating to it. So it's more about the kids specifically or the twin, and surrendering. Getting things organized so that you can come forward to your twin. That could definitely be for a masculine. That the worst is over and let the love begin. I was just getting now. So let's see what Leo has with the sun. Don't let the sun fall down on me. So we're getting the 8 with the 8 of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups. Don't let the sun go down on me, even though it's upright. This is what we're getting. Also, the Angel. I'm not going to put that one down. No, I'll put it back in. So we have the sun. So it can definitely represent Leo energy, being out in the sun, really happy, full energy of kids around, all that kind of stuff, with love at the top. It's beautiful energy. And we have the Page of Cups upright as well, but the Page of Cups is offering, it's like offering love to a brick wall, you know, someone who doesn't express their emotions. Because the Page of Cups is expressing their emotions. It's the Page of Cups, unconditional love, a child's love. It could be a friend as well, but it's pure love there with the Page of Cups upright. This is someone choosing a path. This could be a masculine too, choosing the path, going left with the divine feminine, but not expressing their feelings, like offering a little bit of love, like, right, you know, like a small message of love, but not really opening up. Maybe they're scared of the exposure. It's positive overall, but they need to learn to open up and express their feelings. Or it's the masculine choosing left, and coming, and this could be the feminine offering a message of love to them, but them not wanting to express their feelings online and wanting to tell them, then they come around, they sneak up in person to tell them. Oh, that's so sweet. This patient angel. Dumping all their emotional attachments. And any ex that was supposed to be dumped, according to the read. All right, that's really beautiful. I'm going to leave these out for Leo, because that's really a special message for Leo. Then we have Sagittarius, which is the Queen of Cups. And remember, they all have Ace of Cups at the top here. So here we have, for Sagittarius, the Queen of Cups. She is the Queen of Hearts coming up in Sagittarius. It could be Sagittarius, or it could be someone in their energy right now with the Queen of Cups, someone, her offering love or her getting an offer of love, with the Page of Pentacles and the High Priestess. It could definitely be a divine masculine, or it could be a child, all right, or an opportunity of the masculine to learn about his psychic abilities or his intuition, or again, to study with the divine feminine. That's really nice. That can be a masculine or a child. These two are coming up as well as the King of Pentacles. And again, they're being moderate, they're saving, right? They're being more grounded, not clinging, but holding on loosely, saving, being moderate, but still being the King of Pentacles. Or this could be the King of Pentacles. He's kind of looking down like, what are you doing? I got this. This could be like the feminine trying to save all this time, and then the masculine coming over and saying, you know, what are you doing? I got this. Look at me. Look at me. All right, so it's somebody's situation for Sagittarius. And that could be Capricorn energy of the masculine. It could be Virgo too, because we got that Virgo energy there, because the Capricorn's a little bit more about sneaky behavior or coming clean. But the King of Pentacles, if you're dealing with the King of Pentacles, is definitely good here, but over in Cancer, he's reversed. So he might have been, here he might be coming off as he's this, but he's not. He might be trying to come off as where he might have been, or he's just pretending to be that, but it's coming up as positive energy. So it could be two different King of Pentacles too, right? It could be any earth sign. So one Cancer could be reversed, losing money, ungrounded, or still all about the money and superficial life. Or it could be this energy over here that's associated with Sagittarius, who's being practical and a very responsible person, connecting to their intuition and being at 0 point, right? Moderation, learning about their gold coin, seeing every angle of the situation. It's all very positive here for Sagittarius. So definitely all three situations could be coming together, but in different ways with your twins. So it's really cool. And then the Hermit's coming up, shedding light on Sagittarius. Really beautiful for fire today. They had a struggle this week. Actually, I have to tell you, for the whole collective, the past 3 days, we were getting really rotten cards. I mean, I would do them over and over again. They were still getting all like minor arcana that were all reversed energies. So today, it's really good for fire signs, especially with that Ace of Cups at the top. Yay! All right, now we have earth signs that are topped with the 9 of Swords. So somebody's purging or not sleeping well, or up nights crying, or maybe sewing your quilt, putting it together, trying to figure out how to put it together, and you're frustrated. Okay, it doesn't have to be the worst, but it could just be purging. I mean, there's no way around it. You know, it's one of the worst cards in the deck. But for us, the purging is a necessary evil, so it's not evil. So let's go with Taurus. We have the 4 of Wands reversed. So Taurus and Capricorn are coming up as more similar, but Virgo is very different energy of the earth signs. So, I'm sorry, I didn't show that to you, but Taurus is the 9 of Cups, upright. That's very positive. But then the Page of Wands is reversed, and then the 4 of Cups upright. And there was some fighting that's ended now. So with Taurus, there's instability because someone's moving, or a marriage is ending. So that's where the purging comes in. A marriage is ending, or a big party was canceled. I'm trying to think of what else. Someone's happy about it, though. Someone's just happy to be alone. That can definitely be a divine masculine. They're happy and satisfied with themselves. They didn't need all this crap. The Page of Wands could be a child whose party it was, who could be really pissed off that they're not having their party because they need to save money now. But it's time. Someone could be dealing with your child too, where you offered them love before and they refused it or ignored you. So now the father is like, isn't it giving it back to the child to teach them a lesson? Or this can definitely represent the masculine and the feminine, where the masculine's worried now if he comes forward, he's uninspired to offer love to the feminine because he ignored her before multiple times, and now is she going to get back at him by doing the same? All right, but the battle is over. I'll leave that out there as well. But either way, there's instability with Taurus, and that Taurus came up very much so in the read, but somebody's very in their power. So whoever is the person who initiated the move, or the break in the marriage or the ending of the party is happy. He's doing what's right, or he or she is doing what's right for themselves, whereas the people or the kid or around them are pissed, having a tantrum, uninspired, bored, or no longer fighting, or totally out of control fighting. Could be one or the other. There's definitely purging going on there. So Virgo, why does Virgo have the 9 of Pentacles, which is the sovereign? You know, it's like the single ultimate life, you know, having everything you need, but single. All right, so what comes up for Virgo is the Emperor and the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So the person they do have the ultimate energy in being alone, and yet they don't have this. They don't have the masculine, and they don't have the ultimate family life. And this can represent the Virgo is the Emperor in his sovereignty, right? He's single. He left a family, perhaps, or lost a lot of money, but is still single and sovereign. Or an emperor who left a family or lost a lot of money or lost a legacy or just has dysfunctional family around him is looking towards the Virgo sovereign, feminine, to maybe help him get through it all. He's upright, so that might be okay. Or you got to be careful, though, because that emperor could be the father of the masculine or the father of the karmic, who may be blaming the divine feminine for his loss of family or income, or the masculine could blame her as well. But now we have also coming up on Virgo here is the Queen of Wands with the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and then the Death card reversed. So she's coming up upright. So some Queen of Wands could legitimately be breaking patterns, may have tripped up in clinging, but this could also be purposely breaking patterns and don't want to fall back into that clinginess anymore. But it could be for show as well, okay? Because this could be someone tripping up and still clinging, but trying to come off as, no, I'm good with this, but maybe, you know, planning something or getting her father then to do something about it, because that came up in the read as well, so just so you know. It could be, too, that the Virgo could be a target because of the karmic, and or a father, and or the divine masculine's father or uncle or boss or whoever it is. Or it could just be really beautiful energy where they've broken up and the karmic is fine, they're breaking patterns, and maybe going through their dark night or starting to, or a near-death experience woke them up to break patterns, and now letting go, no longer trying to cling to a family, or the Emperor, it just could be a break in the family or lost a family member, or it could be a severe loss of money, all right? Or somebody lost the job or the work, or the family business went under, so there's a big loss of money. So some connection. I wouldn't be as concerned if it was just the Emperor, but it's not. It's the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. And don't get me wrong, the Virgo can be a Queen of Wands, but so can the karmic. This can be, it could be, and the 9 of Pentacles Virgo can also be a child. It could be a teen or 20s, even 30s. It can be anyone, really, because it represents independent energy, but it can definitely represent a teen or 20s person, too. So it could be parents trying to deal with their teen. It could be, this could be the teen who got their sovereignty from their parents in court, right? They sued them for their sovereignty, and they're all good now. They're all on their own. They're single. They might have already had a job for a while, and they make good money. Or they sued them for money in court and actually won money from them, which would be terrible. Or I don't know, the parents might have been really bad, so they might have won money from them because they were such bad parents. Or just because of the suit, the family lost a lot of money and she's fine. So there's a couple different scenarios there. But it's, overall, it's really ideal energy, but there's definitely undertones there. And it could be 3 generations too. It could be a father, the karmic, and their child. And dysfunctional family issues, so the lineage issues of clinginess or needing to break patterns, always tripping up or not balanced at work, not liking to work, or liking to spend other people's money. I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of energy coming up here. There's just a ton of money around Virgo. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Even if it's reversed, it's still there. It was there initially, and you have an Emperor. So you have the Emperor with the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So there can't be any more money in this deck than that, unless you had the Emperor present, the Empress there as well. So that's Virgo. Then we have, I want to bring this up just because the Hermit's there, and that's Virgo energy. So the Hermit could be shedding light on any depression or loss of hope in a relationship or connection, a bond. So it can be any bond. Doesn't have to be the Divine Masculine, but there definitely can be Virgo and Aquarius energy here. Virgo and Aquarius. They may be okay in seeing eye to eye, but one's very depressed and the other one's looking in another direction. So that this may be a peaceful parting of the ways, okay? And then we have Leo connected too. So some illness here. Really drained, or there's an illness of a child or a person who's ill, or that could be someone who just passed as well. And it was they went through a lot to deal with that ill person. All right, so let's go on to Capricorn. Capricorn is the Seven of Swords reversed, which can be still sneaky and half-truth behavior, but it can also just be coming clean about it. So let's see what comes up. All right, so Capricorn, we have the Knight of Cups, admitting to their foolishness or admitting they fell in love. They fell for someone. And then we have the Knight of Wands reversed, falling for the wrong person. This is someone offering love now, though. Saying, I love you, I'm sorry, I fell for the wrong person, or I got taken, I got scammed, I got tricked. Or I'm just sorry, I was an idiot. Right? If they did something wrong, maybe they had a one-night stand. This could be even them apologizing to their wife or partner, their karmic. This is Capricorn. This could also be getting in an accident with the child. Or it could be two children who got in that accident. Some kind of wrongdoing. All right? And it can reference to a Virgo, since we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed here. So some kind of wrongdoing or property damage, which came up in the read to Virgo. So it could be two kids. Maybe one kid's perfectly willing to come forward, but the other one not. Because they lack faith. They're afraid. Or they show their viciousness to the Divine Feminine, so they're kind of hard, they don't want to face them. Or this could be the Divine Masculine not wanting to face the twin, but wanting the child to go apologize, or the Divine Masculine wants to go and is forcing the child to go apologize, but they don't want to go. And that could be one or two children. Or these could be the two kids, just depends. But there's definitely sneaky behavior, coming clean about something, some kind of apology. And it's definitely going to Virgo, because these are the next two cards, not just the Nine of Pentacles reversed, but the Hermit energy, which is Virgo. And this is coming up where the Virgo or Hermit actually shed light on what happened. Right? So they already know. And they probably knew the whole time, especially if it was a Divine Feminine that it happened to. And the depression that went with it on their side. But again, that can come up as the Hermit and Aquarius, or this can just be loss of hope of a Hermit. Or depression. In loss of money, loss of power, independence, stability, losing money in general, depressed, isolating, everything that the Divine Feminines went through. This is around Capricorn. So I'm going to leave that out there, though. Okay. Then we have air signs at the top, which are, so Capricorn's coming clean or still being a little sneaky. That Knight of Wands reversed, it doesn't have to be the worst, but it's not a great card to get. It's definitely someone who doesn't give a crap what anyone else feels. It can be the one-night stand. It could be, trying to get one over on somebody else. Or it could be having, ran with it and then realized it was too late. They couldn't put on the brakes once they started. Or someone might have actually lost their brakes. Or somebody might have cut somebody else's brakes. That would be really bad. As I'm saying that, this is what's coming out. So I'm going to put it back in. But that's because we're still talking about Capricorn. So this can relate. It's on Capricorn, but it can relate to Sagittarius. Then we have the Knight of Swords. And then this is on Aries, reversed. So Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aries energies all related to this. Someone might have died because the brakes were cut. Or just a really painful betrayal where this person's trying to get them to see the truth of a situation. Or this person's so busy focused on their own feelings that they don't see the other people that they're hurting, which divine masculines may see as the feminine, right? That they don't see the other people that are hurt in the situation as well. And this could be deliberations or making a bad decision or poor judgment, but that doesn't deserve someone getting really hurt like that. All right, so let's see what comes up for the air signs with the Five of Swords is at the top there, but it's reversed. So laying down the swords, the end of the war, PTSD issues, all that kind of stuff comes up with that card, but apologies as well. So we come up with Gemini. We have the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Three of Swords reversed, along with that Ten of Pentacles reversed. So that's connected to Virgo as well, Gemini. And it has to do with healing, forgiving, between the Queen of Pentacles reversed and their family. So Gemini, who could be a grounded Gemini, is healing with their family right now, which is great, right? The war ended, dealing with PTSD issues on both sides probably, but the family's really stable here, so that's great. They may have come into money or inheritance recently as well. Maybe the Queen of Pentacles gave it to them, or maybe the Queen of Pentacles wasn't included in that inheritance, so they're upset. That's why they're reversed. And they may have gone through some heartbreak, but they are now recovering and forgiving. All right, so this is also coming up, and I'm bringing it up because it's the same cards for Gemini. So again, the end of the war, laying down of swords, forgiving, apologizing, and this is recovering from it, coming back into the fold, right? If they were at war, letting each other back in, or just recovering in a practical or financial way, but still have a long way to go. And then this could be, a very unstable home life. It could have to do with having to move or being homeless. This was definitely someone who's homeless. Moving, or a marriage that's ending, or a family that wasn't there to support them, or it could be any kind of cancellation of a big party or event, that kind of thing. Or never felt like they had, could be a kid with their family, saying to them, I never had any stability in my life. I never felt safe. I didn't feel like you guys were there for me, but they're coming to peace with it right now. Then we have Libra, which is that Five of Wands, which is on Taurus, reversed. That's upright for Libra. So the first three cards coming up are the Eight of Cups reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, for me this is Libra, and also the Knight of Pentacles upright, which can be Virgo energy, with the Five of Wands, which can be anything from just sports competitions to a big fight or brawl, or a petty fight or a quest, the impossible dream. Also can be expansion and just really negative energy, right, with fighting. But it's it's fighting and working through the difficult emotions to come to a good place, so that you can get to a place where then you can possibly work together or offer help to somebody else. So it's like the Libra working through their own emotional difficulties to find their destiny and their good fortune in order to go back to work, or to then go forward and offer something to someone else. All right, so this is coming up for Libra, offering to an earth sign, because that's heading the earth signs, the Empress, which was the only thing missing from the Virgo that I said that you needed for wealth. So this could be Libra wanting to then coming to that perfect place where they're really good, so they're clean, and then can go forward in a humble way, as a humble servant, going forward to help with any other purging that the Empress is going through about the past or looking back, okay, that he can help with. All right, so that's for Libra. That was really good. These are also coming out just so you can see them. All right, so there's grieving, loss or regret, guilt and shame, having dumped someone or pushed them to their emotional limits, in imbalance, or not sharing, not being fair, okay? And you see all the yellow in there? There's a lot of yellow of the solar plexus energy there, right? Which has to do with ego, shining your light too much at someone else's expense, all right? Feeling sorry for yourself. when you weren't even paying it. This is like, can be two, like, these are the two you were fighting for, and you're not even turned around looking at who you were fighting for. All you're doing is grieving that what you let go, or the things that you hurt. When you hurt somebody else, it's now their wound to heal. You can't be the savior and save everyone. You have to allow them to learn and grow on their own. It's the only way people grow. So then we have Aquarius, which is the Hermit. Let's see what we got here. So this is Aquarius, very nice, and this is also connected to Sagittarius. And where was there any other Ten of Cups? Ten of Cups is really positive with the Hermit. So that can be connected to Virgo and Sagittarius as well. Very happy family between the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. That can definitely be a masculine and a feminine coming together for happiness, emotional happiness. The Knight of Swords, so that could definitely be the Aquarius. And the Queen of Cups can be Virgo, could be any water sign. It's also coming up on Sagittarius. So very interesting for Aquarius. This could be the Queen of Cups too, over here, right? So the Sagittarius who came to their emotional fulfillment and is now speaking their truth to their family, finding her own emotional happiness with or without a family, because they're coming to the end of a cycle, doesn't really matter. This could be the Rainbow Bridge. But maybe telling their truth to the Aquarius is coming up with Virgo in their chart as well. Then we have the water signs, which has Two of Cups at the top. So water and fire together, really beautiful water energy. So we have Cancer's first is the King of Pentacles reversed. We're over 2 hours already, wow. So Cancer is the Ace of Swords reversed and the World reversed. So his world's kind of upside down. He might be going through a divorce or a spiritual awakening. This has to do with lies, split, cutting through the BS, pulling the sword from the stone, which definitely came up in the read today. Right? See his hand magnetized? He may be glowing. It's white radiation though. So that could be negative radiation. Oh, white-fisted. White-fisted. Or white-knuckled. So that's coming up. And then we have the King of Swords upright. So the King of Pentacles is reversed, but the King of Swords is upright. So not sure which one's which, but however it fits to your situation. The King of Swords is coming up in his truth, which is great. But this definitely has to do with someone who's outside the box or in a divorce, any kind of break of commitment or contract, downfall of the patriarchy in another world, or the world's turned upside down, or it's the divine feminine in another world, or just floating in the pool, relaxing in a split situation. So I don't see the Ace of Swords reversed as a problem there. It definitely is falling in line with the other cards. You know, we have some major arcana there with the King of Pentacles reversed. It could be there's a bond between the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. The King of Pentacles may have passed, so that's why everything else is still positive. Or it can be a parting of the ways, but they maybe could family. They still love each other's family, but they're not going to do business together anymore. So a couple different scenarios there. Then we have, so that's Cancer energy. All right, so then we have Scorpio, which is the Lovers reversed. Ooh. All right, so he's got Lovers reversed, got the Two of Cups again, times 2, and then the Sun reversed, which is on Leo upright. So it's either just Scorpio who's has a great bond, but no affection, no sex life. So they have great friends and great relationships, but no sex life or affection, because maybe they live by themselves. Or they have the Sun reversed, so they might just feel drained because, you know, they want a sex life, or maybe they're sick or ill or have kids that they got to take care of, and they're too tired to have a sexual relationship. This is also coming up for Scorpio. All right, so reaping rewards, but wanting an offer of sex. That's definitely coming up for Scorpio. Somebody wants sex or creativity. This can be Libra energy too. So it could be Libra, Scorpio, but all in the same chart. You could have Leo in there too. And Gemini, since we have the Lovers card there too. So we have Scorpio. So they just may just be freshly divorced. or have been in a court case where they didn't have time for anything else, and don't have much money left or as much as they used to have, but now just really want an offer of sex. Or they may have found some new creative stream for themselves out of the court situation or the divorce situation. Maybe really positive for them, that's leading them on their journey. Really nice. They obviously may have triumphed in that situation for Scorpio. And Scorpio has been getting some really good cards this week. Pisces has the Judgment reversed. And let's see what's left for Pisces. There's not a whole lot of cards left in the deck. All right, Pisces has King of Cups reversed. Looks like Pisces is getting the brunt of it. King of Cups reversed, the Ten of Swords upright, and then the Judgment card reversed. All right, so that could be Pisces who's manipulative, or with drinking issues, or could just be over emotional right now in a death. Somebody might have passed away. And this could just be someone who made a bad decision, especially if it was a young person who died in an accident or something. And I'm sorry if that's the case. This is deliberation or bad decision or poor judgment or non-judgment. You see, as non-judgment is a bad decision because that means you're at the Y in the road. You must always make a choice. You have to go with the flow. It doesn't matter what your choice is. But there's great pain and betrayal here, or it could just be back pain. Sometimes I guess even for getting a massage. So somebody might be overindulging in themselves, not caring about anyone else, just staying at the Y in the road. And this could have to do with a traffic accident too, since I keep saying Y in the road. We have the Judgment reversed twice. So somebody's judgment might have been overturned twice. But it's interesting. Oh, it was overturned twice. So a negative judgment for the King of Cups was overturned, and now it was turned back to the original decision. So they thought they were going to win, and now they're not again. So that it's like a double betrayal, because all the time they put into a double overturned decision, or whatever the decision was, somebody decided against it, and then they decided for it again, which was the mistake. It was a wrong decision. This is definitely going towards the masculine Pisces. That's what else is coming up, if there's any feminine energy. I'm not really getting a lot of feminine energy here, but we have the Magician, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and then the Peace card. Finding peace in holding back your energy, right? Being the Magician embodiment, holding back your third energy, not giving it away to a new life until you come to peace or somebody else comes to terms or peace in their life, right? Not giving it away when someone else isn't reciprocating. Let's see, and that's definitely could be for the feminine. So let's see what else comes up for Pisces, just because there's so much masculine energy. Just getting together with friends, hanging out. That could be for the feminine, so that's good. Okay, guys, so I'm going to tell you those last cards, but at the bottom of the decks, just so you know, this could be underlying energy now as well. We have the moon, the full moon, the false light, sneaky behavior, half-truths, or coming clean with issues at work or third party through work, or leaving work, retiring, whatever it could be. This could be an imbalance, someone not sharing with the responsibilities, or some kind of inequity, or someone in debt, or someone who is in debt because of somebody else and they never knew or got scammed. This is big issues at work, or just leaving, retiring, sneaking out though, not telling anyone, just going. This could be overworking at night as well, or that these sneaky things were happening at night at work that other people didn't know about. And it could have to do with stealing money. All right, that's the underlying energy. And then we have the Ace of Cups underneath that, all right? So that definitely wasn't nice energy. But definitely a business failing, or just issues, third party, and again, it could be a party through work that went wrong. That came up in the read too, where someone might have had sex who was partnered to somebody else, who ended up having a one-night stand or whatever, or got pulled into it because they were drunk or whatever the excuse is. Whatever the excuse is, being a fool. Allow yourself to fall. Forgive yourself, and then go take one step at a time and go on. So then we have, summarizing everyone here, fire signs came out here, which is great for the masculine if he's in his happiness alone, as long as he's not being arrogant, right? But there's really a lot of love here for self, so that's great for fire signs. For the earth signs, it's coming down to the Queen of Swords, which she was all about the read, right? The the very, very wounded Guinevere, right? So, and making sure not to take it out on other people, but don't take it out on yourself either. You know, release yourself from that wound, the hurt, being stoned, being the victim. It's very much about a purge here for especially the feminine energy for earth signs, and coming out of that. There's a lot of air there involved there as well, though. Coming out of being the victim. And then we have the 8 of Swords reversed for the air signs here. So getting out of prison or escaping from your mental prison. Don't fence me in. Seeing that your hands aren't really tied, or maybe they're tired, but maybe they're not really tied, or maybe they are tied, but you can still get out and get help, have someone help you get your hands untied, right? Or assistance to get work done. And then for the water signs, we have strength reversed. So it could be ego death, or it could just be weakness and needing the strength or courage to do what you know you need to do for yourself. Okay, so there may be a bond that will stay a bond, but maybe it's not the right person for you, and you need to make that mature decision for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. It was a whole lot of stuff. We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes and 37, 38, 39 seconds, which are all the cups energy, and 40. So you guys know the drill. Drink your water, get as much rest as you can, and as much joy as you can, and just do for yourself. Rise and be loved, guys. Bye.